4,000 years ago, a civilization sang its prayers into existence, and those songs became humanity's oldest surviving literature. These weren't just hymns, they were the architectural blueprints of an entire worldview that would shape billions of lives across millennia. Welcome to the world of the Rigveda, where poetry was power, fire was divine, and a nomadic people called the Aryans were forging the foundations of what we now know as Hinduism. Between 1500 and 1000 BCE, somewhere in the vast expanse between the Hindu Kush Mountains and the Ganges Plains, these remarkable people created something unprecedented, a collection of over 1,000 hymns that would survive unchanged for 3.5 millennia. But who were these Aryans, and how did their sacred songs become the bedrock of one of the world's oldest religions? The Aryans weren't the peaceful farmers you might imagine. They were semi-nomadic pastoralists, cattle herders and warriors who swept into the Indian subcontinent sometime around 1500 BCE. Picture vast migrations of people moving with their herds across the northwestern frontiers of India, bringing with them horse-drawn chariots, bronze weapons, and most importantly, an oral tradition so powerful it could preserve complex poetry across centuries without a single written word. These weren't illiterate wanderers. The Aryans possessed something far more sophisticated than writing. They had perfected the art of oral transmission. Imagine training your memory so precisely that you could recite thousands of verses with every syllable, every accent, every pause preserved exactly as your teacher taught you. This wasn't mere memorization. It was a sacred technology that treated sound itself as divine. The Rigveda consists of 1,028 hymns organized into 10 books, called mandalas. Each hymn is a carefully crafted piece of poetry, but these aren't love songs or epic tales. They're conversations with gods. The Aryan seers, called rishis, believed they were literally seeing and hearing divine truths, then translating these cosmic revelations into Sanskrit verse. At the heart of Aryan society was fire, not just as a tool, but as a living deity named Agni. Every Rigvedic ritual centered around the fire altar, where offerings of clarified butter, grain, and the mysterious soma plant would be consumed by flames that carried prayers directly to the heavens. Agni wasn't just fire. He was the messenger between humans and gods, the divine priest who transformed earthly offerings into celestial communication. But Agni shared the spotlight with Indra, the storm god and cosmic warrior. If you want to understand Aryan values, look at Indra. He's a cattle-raiding, soma-drinking, demon-slaying hero who embodies everything these people admired. Indra doesn't meditate peacefully under trees. He charges into battle wielding thunderbolts, splits mountains, and releases the life-giving waters trapped by cosmic serpents. This is a god for people who lived by strength, mobility, and the raid. The soma plant reveals perhaps the most intriguing aspect of Rigvedic culture. Entire hymns are devoted to this mysterious substance that was pressed, filtered, and consumed during rituals. Scholars still debate what soma actually was, possibly a psychoactive mushroom, maybe ephedra, perhaps something now extinct. What's clear is that soma wasn't just a drink. It was a gateway to divine consciousness. The hymns describe it as conferring immortality, inspiring poets, and allowing humans to commune directly with gods. Aryan society was structured but not yet rigid. The Rigveda mentions 4 broad social categories: the Brahmins who performed rituals, the Kshatriyas who fought and ruled, the Vaishyas who herded cattle and traded, and the Shudras who served the others. But this wasn't yet the elaborate caste system of later India. Social mobility existed, and the emphasis was more on function than birth. Women in Rigvedic society enjoyed remarkably high status. Female seers composed hymns, participated in philosophical debates, and chose their own husbands. The goddess Saraswati wasn't just a river. She was the divine embodiment of knowledge and eloquence. Dawn herself, Ushas, was celebrated as a beautiful goddess who brought light to the world each morning, inspiring some of the most lyrical poetry in the entire collection. The Aryans were obsessed with cattle, and for good reason. In a semi-nomadic society, cattle represented wealth, status, and survival. Raids to capture cattle weren't just economic activities, they were religious duties. The word for war, gavishti, literally means desire for cows. Even the gods were described in terms of cattle wealth, and the cosmic battles between good and evil were often framed as struggles over divine herds. What makes the Rigveda extraordinary isn't just its age, but its sophistication. These hymns demonstrate profound philosophical thinking. They question the nature of existence, wonder about creation, and even express doubt about the gods themselves. One famous hymn asks whether anyone truly knows how the universe began, concluding that perhaps even the Creator doesn't know for certain. The Rigveda gives us a unique window into humanity's spiritual dawn, a time when people believed they could speak directly with gods, when poetry was prayer, and when the natural world pulsed with divine energy. In our modern world, it's hard to imagine the power of pure oral tradition, but the Aryans understood that sacred knowledge isn't just information to be stored, but living wisdom to be embodied. If you enjoyed this story, please hit the like button and subscribe for more untold history every single day. See you in the next one.